All right, we are at the Keystone Mountain Lakes Regional Council of Carpenters. That's Jim Equals, formerly of the Beaver County Times full-time, still does a great job covering high school sports. He's with Langen Engineering now. I made him stop on the way home from work to talk sports, and he'll join us in just a couple of moments. So why am I here? We were going to head to the Brighton Hot Dog Shop tonight in Vanport, but hey, the Papa family understands. We'll be back there. But I picked up the phone to talk to Rick Okraszewski from the Keystone Mountain Lakes Regional Council of Carpenters about another issue. He said, Rob, we got a big event tomorrow. And I said, look, I think I can punt and come up here and spend some time with you. So we'll talk sports with Jim in a little bit. But we're going to talk about Three Rivers Trapic and the APIC Association. Juliet Farrelly has been working with him all day. I've told you about infectious diseases and what they do, places like the Allegheny Health Network, places, of course, like the University of Pittsburgh and UPMC and Heritage Valley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to have a day here tomorrow that I think will really help further that cause and their amazing work. So tell us, what are you doing tomorrow? Thanks again for having us.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for all the support all the time, and thanks for coming tonight.
You're welcome.
Saved me a couple bucks. I was going to buy you those hot dogs.
Believe me, they're on me. So go ahead.
But the Three Rivers APIC, there's a national group called APIC, and it stands for the Association for Practitioners in Infection Control and Epidemiology. And I'm a carpenter. What that means is epidemiology means the study of infections. And the people that are going to be here tomorrow is the local chapter for APIC, TRAPIC it's called, and that'll be our region's hospitals. And all these people that are here tomorrow are infection control practitioners. They call them IPs. And these IPs handle the process of doing things in the hospital without infection. So that's everything from all the clinical things that happen all the way through to construction. And over the last few years, they have made a connection with some of the infections that are had by people, secondary infections that happen when people go to the hospital, and tied that with things that can happen in the hospital whenever construction is going on, maintenance is going on, renovation, things like that. Just the doors being opened and things like that.
Airborne diseases.
Airborne things. So what we, in our business of construction, have done is we've put together a program that helps to follow proper protocols when construction projects are going on. Mm-hmm. And the IPs, or the people that will be here tomorrow, are our people that watch over what we do, and they're the ones that have to create the environment and tell us what level and what class of containment it is, and we need to follow that procedure, and we work with these people very closely.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about also what's happening on Sunday night. It's the second presidential debate, and it's going to be hosted by Anderson Cooper of CNN and Martha Raddatz of ABC News. It's going to be Washington University in St. Louis. A lot of people are thinking this one will be a little bit more on target now that they've had a chance to do it one time. And of course, the other night, it was the vice presidential debate in Farmville, Virginia, between Michael Pence and Tim Kaine. But Sunday night, very important, and we all know that Hillary Clinton, who you support at the Carpenters Union, she is a big proponent of labor in this country. You know, as I said to you many times, middle-class jobs are so necessary, and I tie them into just about everything that's happening in America today, especially the bad things when it comes to crime and to drugs. People without jobs have no hope. The great thing that this place does, it gives hope, and it saves people from maybe going down the wrong road, and it gives them an opportunity that many people will be the first to say that they would have never had without what you do here. How important is it, do you think, in your heart, what you've seen for your family and what it did for you to have an opportunity to carry a union card?
Well, I can tell you that I am not a person that loves to sit and read books. But I can tell you right now, I love to build things. And without the union and without my trade, I would not have been able to support my family. And I was just talking to you, and I'm not against college. College is great for so many places and so many aspects. But for a large group of people in our society that are more physical, more hands-on, more hand-eye coordination with using tools and so on and so forth, this gives the opportunity. The trades, manufacturing, that type of environment works very well. And without the opportunity I would have had here in the union, I probably still would have been doing something with my hands and working in that type of environment. but without the union support and the type of things that we're able to negotiate through our union contracts, I wouldn't have been able to support my family nearly as well. And that's a big component for us in the election, is making sure we have somebody that's not going to pull away from some of the things that we've gained over the years, which a lot of people think that unions have so much and so many things. I can tell you right now, construction unions we're happy to make a reasonable wage with some health care benefits for our families and be able to retire with a certain amount of dignity. And we can't lose that. We can't lose that little bit of structure we have.
All right, let me say congratulations to you and the union labor to put the Liberty Bridge back in operation. That had to be a monumental effort, and I don't think we can say enough about the union labor that got that job done.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. And once again, that job was going along. Think about what happens on these bridges. They're shutting half down. They kept the bridge open while they're resurfacing and redoing one half. They're repainting the entire bridge, fixing things that are in disrepair. And because of the processes of doing that, something occurred which created the fire, which created obviously nearly a catastrophic failure on that bridge. And I'm all about carpenters. I support carpenters 100%, but I have to tip my hat to the iron workers who did a phenomenal job of disassembling what needed to be disassembled, shoring up and replacing the piece of girder that needed fixed.
And also congratulations to Dan Sesson and everybody at PennDOT for keeping everybody on the right route and getting that wonderful artery back open again. Lastly, the Mascaro Company and many others are doing some wonderful work at that Shell petrochemical plant. And I know the folks at Shell respectfully said, look, we want to be a big imprint, but we're not going to be the whole footprint. But I do believe they're going to be a huge step in the right direction. And the thing that amazes me is every day I have another question, because I just keep seeing this wonderful present really develop in front of my very eyes. How much, again, is that going to mean to the future of this region and to middle-class America?
Well, to me, it's one of the largest projects that I'll ever experience in my 40 years of working in this business.
And you've seen a lot.
And I've seen quite a few projects over the years. And, this is a good staple project, which the spin-off work that's going to happen because of what they're actually doing there is going to support, I think, our region for years to come. There's going to be a lot of spin-off manufacturing work, and with that comes spin-off needs to buy things. People are going to be buying homes and sending their children to school and buying them clothing and buying washers and dryers and cars and everything else that you can imagine that helps to support everything in general. So that job is going to be a great sort of catalyst for all the other things that are to come.
I'll close on this now. This is how your Pratte Pack, my mind works. From the blacktop to the concrete, to the gasoline for the heavy equipment, to the food that these marvelous workers eat. It all helps our economy.
There's no doubt about it. The middle class, my brother was management in a pulp mill and making paper. And my brother became very, very much associated with management, even though his brother and his father were both construction carpenters. And in 2008, when everything was bad, my brother and I had bounced off each other a lot of different things. And I said to him one day, I said, Jim, we need to build things here. We need to build things, and that's what will re-support our economy. And he argued with me over the years, but then one day he called me and says, what we need to do, Rick? I said, what do we need to do, Jim? He says, we need to build things here, and that'll rebuild our economy. And there's no doubt about it. And we've got a nice economy moving. It's moving in a positive direction. Our region here is moving in a good direction, and we've got to keep that happening. Thanks to you. You have been such a supporter of this.
And I talked about the election earlier, but really it's just not at the national level. You look at Katie McGinley and Pat Toomey. You look at a guy who's running against Jim Christiana. You've got Mike Rossi, and you've got Miss McClellan, Aaron McClellan, against Congressman Keith Rothfuss. We're not telling you who to vote for, nor would we ever do that. But I think people have to understand labor's significance and union labor, how much it means to all of us, and we're urging everybody to get out there and vote, right?
Sure. You have to get out there and vote, and, believe me, there is so much discussion, so much whirlwind, but for me, I have to vote what's going to support my job and my future. I hope to retire in the next couple of years after 42 years of service in this business, and I hope to live for 25 or 30 years thereafter that and be able to sort of maintain. And we can't allow things like our pension funds to become underfunded. we have to be able to do that. And the only people that are funding them are the people that are working. So we have to be sure that that workforce stays intact and they're able to keep funding the things that us old guys are going to need to live on. And believe me, I'm not living high off the hog. I'm just, if I meet you at the Brighton hot dog shop and get you a couple of hot dogs, that'll be big for both of us. I know that.
Believe me, that's like Thanksgiving dinner for me.
Not about it.
All right, listen, tell folks about Candy. Listen, I've said this many times, my years heading home from KDK late at night. When the lights are on, there's some of the hardest working people in America cleaning these wonderful complexes and office buildings. And I've always said, do you mind if I test drive your sweeper? I love what they do for a living. And Candy has been cleaning this building for many, many years, and she does an exceptional job. And she even took time to shoot this on my Samsung Galaxy 7.
Think about what Candy does. She comes in, she keeps the place clean. When we have events, she helps set out the food, clean up the food. When you come, she helps film you.
And you know,
I mean, what else can we ask?
Let me tell you how tough she is and why some of the people that actually, these custodial engineers, if you will, she's never complained once that her arms were tired. And we've had her standing there for a long time. She's a tough person.
You know what? Let's just keep going and see how long she can have.
No. Because I want to try to get a free cup of coffee out of you. All right, folks. Have a great night. And Jim Equals coming up in just a couple of moments. We're going to talk sports next at the Keystone Mountain Lakes Regional Council of Carpenters. Stay with us.